Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Decency Graphics at it. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can design a church flyer like this in Photoshop. And this is coming up. Alright guys, so we are here in Photoshop. So first off, we'll go to create new. Then we'll select 8 by 8 inches, then hit on create. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to view, then new guide layouts, then okay. I was using a margin each at 100 pixels, so I hit on okay. So I'll first create my background, which is a gradient background. So I'll come right into my gradients. Then for the colors, I jotted the hexacode down. Don't worry, all the files used will be linked in the description so that you can have same access to. So I'm going to place my color right over here. So yes, and the second color, place it here. Yes, the opacity is at 0. That is why we had this. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to look like. I'm going for a radial, then reverse. So I'm going to increase this to about like 200. It was around 200, I think 200. Yes, something like this. Cool. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in my image. Yeah. So first off, I'm going to bring this building. I'm going to use only this building as my background though. So I'll drag it right here into Photoshop, and then I'll scale it upwards. So scale it up, then drag it to this place, somewhere around this area. Then I'll turn it to soft light, then decrease the size to about the opacity to 30. Yes, I'm going to have something like this. I'll just drag it down, create a layer mask for it, go my brush tool and make sure my color is black, increase the size of my brush tool, then I erase. I'm cool with it. So I'll go in for my images again, and I go in for my lens flare. So I'll drag that one to right here into Photoshop, expand it, then place it around this corner, then set it to screen. So I'll place it around here. Then one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to my blur, then my Gaussian blur, then I'll increase this to about this size. Okay, so we good. My background is all set for me now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in the picture of the pasta. It's a PNG. I've already worked on the picture already. Yes, so yeah, let me drag it downwards a little. Hit on Ctrl A to center the picture. Okay, we good. So now let's bring in our very first text. But as I always say, usually arrange your layers well, group them well, so that whenever you need them, you won't be rushing around for them. Yeah. So I can see my text. First text. Let me see. 3 days fasting. So I wouldn't combine these. I would work with first the 3 days. So come, then I'll paste it. Hit on OK. I'll hit on Ctrl T to expand it. Hit on it, then I'll bring it on top. Yes, it's supposed to be on top. Then I'll go for the Akira extended. Yeah, that's the font I'm going to use for this particular text. Akira extended. Yes. So let me space out this place. Hit on spacebar. Okay, so we change the color of the font to white. Sorry. Hit on OK. Ctrl A, then I'll center it. Then for the size, let's keep the font size around 77, I think. It's quite okay. So let me increase the size for the picture a little. Okay, let's bring it downwards. Sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in some guides that is going to help me align all the next texts I'm going to use in this area once. Okay, so I'm going to have it around this area. Okay, so the next text is going to be for the fasting and prayers. So I'll select that one, copy, then come here. So what I prefer doing is to make a duplicate of the very first text, bring it downwards, double click on it, then paste. Then I'll just change the font size to about 15. Yes, so 15. Then I'm going to use an Nexa font, that is an Nexa bold. That is okay. So I hit on it. Yeah, drag it upwards. Then I'm going to increase the spacing inside to around like 800. Let's see, I want it to fit this side too, so let's increase it a little to about 850. Let's see how things turn out. It's probably a 900, I think. We want our text to be well aligned, and I think it's okay for now. I think looking at the size, it's okay. So what we are going to do next is we are going to bring in our next text, that is the theme. So for the theme, I would like to go for a rectangle to then draw a little something around here. Yes, then what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to right over here, turn off this one, then bend the corner of the square, the rectangle a little. Sorry, I'm using square, I don't know why. So something like this, then hit on Control A, then center it right here. So for this rectangle, I'm going to use a gradient, and let me fix in the gradient. So the hexacode for the gradient is also right here. Copy and paste. Yes, I like this one rather. So let's copy, paste this one too. Okay, hit on. Okay, I think it's okay, but let's change the arrangements for the angle. Let's bring it around this place. Let's see, around this place. Yeah, and let's see, what about 58? Let's take it here around 58. And for the scale, I would like to use around 240. Yes, so that it won't be that kind of bright. Yeah, okay, so we good. So what we are going to do next is that we are going to bring in our next text. Yes, which is theme. Yes, I made a mistake here. So let's input the text, that is theme. Hit on OK. Then let's expand the size. Okay, let's expand the size right here, and then we drag it downwards. So for this one, I'm going to go for about font size of 16. Then I'm going to put the line spacing to 0. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to hit on Control A, then make this one center to the very middle. Then also for the rectangle, hit on Control A, then center it to the very middle. So I have both of them centered very well. Then I come holding Control, then I'll select my theme to get a selection of the theme. Then hit on Control Shift I, then create a layer mask for the rectangle so that I can have a hollow space in the rectangle, something like this. Yeah, so now we are done with this side. So we are going to bring in the theme they chose. Okay, the Lord is my portion. All right, so let's copy this font and bring it downwards here. Yeah, so I don't want it to be crashing, so I'll group them, holding then G to group this one, then fasting in 3 days to our group it so that I know which ones I'm dealing with. Okay, so let's paste it here. Good. So what we are going to do next is we are going to change the font of this text. So let's go for a luster with medium. I think the medium is going to go great. Yeah, so we good. So let's turn off the line spacing, and let's increase the font size to about 26, I think. It's kind of too small. Let's bring it downwards and then let's see. Like we need to increase it a bit. So let's increase it a little and see. That is okay. So let's maintain about 30 because we need to match the sizes to very well so that 30 is too big. So 29.5. Yeah, sometimes that is how I do most of my works, and not bad, at least not too accurate too. Yeah, so we have our text here, and for the memory verse we're going to make a copy, bring it downwards, then let's copy the text that is Lamentations chapter 3:24. You paste that one to right here, then we will change the font. We are going to go for a Nexa. Let's use the Nexa font for this one. So the Nexa bold, and let's take a font size about 15. I think it's too bold. Let me see if I can change it. Okay, let's use a book rather. The Nexa book is quite okay. It's quite good. So we can group these ones to have one layer. So these and these are the same. That is for the theme. So I can name the theme. So it's like we have less space around, so let's push our original picture upwards a bit, then also bring this to upwards. Yeah, I think it's okay for now. Then we are going to bring in our next text. They said width Emmanuel, I think that is the name of the father. So what we are going to do next is that we are going to go in for a custom shape. So what we are going to do is that we are going for a shape right here. So with holding shift, if you don't hold shift, you are going to get, I don't know how to put it, but it won't be well aligned as compared to this one. It's going to be as if it's being bent or something. So you hold shift to get something like this. So I'm going to drag it to this place. Let's put it around this place and hit on Ctrl T, then horizontal. So we are going to have two of this. Yes, let me increase the size and then make it increase it holding alt. I'm holding alt whilst I'm increasing it. So I think it's okay for now. So a little spacing will do, I think. Yes, so this one is okay. So for the colors, isn't it too big? I think yes, I'll decrease it. But for the colors, let's pick the color from this side and then bring it downwards a little. No, two down. So around this side and increase it. Yeah, something like this. I think this is okay. So we will group this one, drag them here, then Ctrl T to scale them down. So since I scale it down, let me increase the spacing a little so that's yeah. So we are going to bring in a text, and the text is going to be the name of the pastor. So we paste it right here. Then let's increase it to see the size. Okay, so we need to give a space in between. Then we head over to our paragraphs and bring it to the left side rather. So we are going to use a different font, that is the Aquatico font. Yes, this font here. And then we bring it down. Let me see, around like 12 is too small, around 18, and let's see something around 18. Then we would decrease the line spacing to around 18 too. So we have something like this. Yeah, great. So same, we good. So they didn't add this, but I would like to add it to this that is joined us. Join us. Yes, that is great. So add exclamation mark. That looks great. So we are just going to align it to where we've made these and make sure it fits inside perfectly. So I'm going to use an Nexa font for this one rather. So a Nexa extra bold, I think here. Then let's decrease it to about 16 or 16.5, or you let me use the transform rather. So that's something like this. So we let's not use white, let's use a font like this. Around this area we good. So what we are going to do next, this is not part of this, anything about so we'll come back to our custom tools, and then we go in for a different shape, that is this shape. So I want to use 3 of these shapes. If I don't want it to be very big, so I'll hit on Ctrl J to make a duplicate, and another Ctrl J to make the third duplicate. Then I'll hold Ctrl and Shift to select, or then hit on Ctrl E to make it 1. Yeah, so I'm going to bring it here, and then I need to group it before I can make changes to it. So let's bring it to the side. I think we are good to go. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to take the color from the font, so we add it. So now we are left with our zoom. So I'm going to bring in my zoom icon. So we decrease, and then we would hit on enter, bring it down. Then one thing I would like to do to this image is I would like to drop a shadow. I wanted to zoom in before drawing the shadow. I'm coming. Let me zoom in to where there's then drop a shadow right over here. So I don't want these types of it. So let's increase it. Let's go to around 4, and the distance to around 5. So we'll decrease this to like 30. I want something like this. Yeah, so let's send it to the top. It shouldn't be right on the border. So to the top, then we'll bring in our text. So let me copy this thing and then bring it here. Alright, so yes, so we go in for the zoom ID and the passcode copy, and then I paste it. So we good. Let's zoom in, then we align it very well. So I'm not going to use the book, I'm going to use something like the extra bold to make it look great. This is not going to disturb me from doing this video, but see that way, sorry for the talk back. My area here, they will have dogs around, so I have to cope with me. Yeah, so we good. So it's that with our date and time. So we are going to actually fix that one around this area. So let's hit right into the space. So let's copy the very first one, then let's paste it. So we're going to paste right here, Ctrl T, so I can enlarge it. Okay, it came a little bit perfect like the way I said it, but let's try and align it to this side. And then we are going to use the Nexa bold. We won't use the extra bold, rather let's use the Nexa bold for this one. Then let's take font around 11 is quite small. Let's take around 15. Yes, so 15 is quite okay. Let's drag it a little bit downwards. Then hit on Ctrl J, bring it down. Then we go for the next text, that is November 2022. So hit on it and hit on, replace it. I don't want a space in between, so we will have something like this here. But let's change the font style to black so that it will be very deep. Yes, so we will have something like this, and then we will change the line spacing in between. I don't want it to yes, this looks great. So the last one is going to be our time, so let's copy the time, and then we will come in for a rounded rectangle. Then we draw a rectangle around this area, but this time I'm just going to change the pixels from 10 to 20. Yes, I want it to be something like this, and the color to a gradient. I want a bluish gradient. Yes, the first blue gradient we picked up, yeah, I think it's this one. Copy, then we paste, and then we copy this one to from here, copy, and then we paste. Then okay, then we hit on okay. So let's change the angle to around like 54. Let's maintain with the size. So let me drag this thing down a little. Sure. So we hit on Ctrl O to zoom all out. Then what we are going to do next is to hit on any of the texts just to make a copy. We drag it, drag it down. Okay, let me bring this one on top. Then we hit on paste to paste. Okay, our time, copy, select all, then we paste. Okay, so we have our time generated and it looks big over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to decrease it to around like 15. Yeah, and it's still so big. I would like to change the font to my very old time friend, that is Paul Paint here. Let me use a Paul Paint regular for the fonts. Yeah, Paul Paint always look good. That is why I like this font. So let's decrease it to around like 13, and you would see we have a great it looks great. It looks like our rectangle is too long. I don't want long rectangles over here. Sure. Then let's bring this one to the side, and we good. So now we are done, and as you can see, our work is perfect. If you find this tutorial helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and you share. Your boy Decency Graphics here, and I'm out.